Hey everyone, welcome back to the Kettleers Starting 9. I'm Lily Butler, joined alongside Joe Pratt and Tyler Danburg back at Lowell Park after the last night did not go as the Kettleers planned, falling to Brewster 6-2. Back here searching for the win tonight against Chatham. I just spoke with Ryan Galaney about moving past a loss and kind of what that looks like. He talked a little bit about that. So we'll send it right on to that interview and be back for the Kettleers Starting 9. I'm down here with Ryan Galaney of the Kettleers. Ryan, thank you so much for joining me. Now, last night, not the result the Kettleers were hoping for, but with a game today and games tomorrow and days after that, you got to be able to move past that. What's your method for that after a loss?
It's baseball. We take it one game at a time, one pitch at a time, so we hope to get it going today.
And then yesterday, a hit with 2 runners on base, brought him home. What's your thoughts going through your mind as you step up to the plate with your teammates on base?
I was just happy to put a ball in play and contribute to the offense a little bit yesterday. We have some great players. It's great. There's always guys on, and being able to hit in that spot was really a blessing.
And then I spoke with your family yesterday. They're here supporting you and cheering you on. What does that mean to you to have them here?
Yeah, it's awesome. I got a bunch of them here this week. So birthday's coming up. They're supporting me. So it's lovely. Get to have my grandma in from Louisiana. So it's always a good thing when she comes, I get hit. So I hope she stays for a little bit.
And then, of course, this is your second year with the Kettleers. Can you just reflect on last season a little bit and how that was for you?
Yeah, it was awesome. Coming in at the end, those guys really brought me in and took me in with open arms. It's great to come back here and try and bring other guys in for their first time and welcome them to what Kettleers all about and how Kettleer baseball is.
All right, thank you so much. That'll do it for us, Ryan. Now back to the Kettleers Starting 9. I'm Lily Butler. That was Ryan Galaney of the Kettleers. Now, Tyler, yesterday, pitching again is where the Kettleers showed some strength, but offensively, the Ketts struggled a little bit.
Yeah, they got some early run support. They took a 2-1 lead on that 2-run single by Ryan Galaney, but then Brewster pitching really settled in. The starters for the Whitecaps had been really struggling, but then Jake Marshall really settled in. He had 4 strong innings, and then the Whitecaps bullpen, a strength of theirs, they also were dialed in. So Kettleers struggling offensively, a 162 team average. That's last in the Cape Cod League, so they're looking to try and bounce back today against the Anglers.
Yeah, absolutely. And then right there in that 7th inning, really where the Kettleers seem to struggle. And I think, Joe, that can be something that's tough to get out of.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw it in opening day against YD. It was just one inning, really, where the bats of the opponent really just woke up. Last night it was Brewster, and of course at YD, Kettleers had a little bit more run support in that game, so they're able to hang on and win that one. Of course, last night, not much offensive performance. But before, we just talked with Coach a few minutes ago, he said torque. That's the word he was using last night. We're bringing it into this night's game. Of course, he just wants his guys to really unleash that torque, and he explained that when we talked to him a few minutes ago. So let's send it over to that now. Down here with Coach Roberts ahead of Game 5 today against Chatham. And, Coach, tough one last night. Just how do you put that one behind you and take on this new day?
Yeah, I actually saw some good things last night that you build off of that. And we had one poor inning early on the game where we made a couple of errors, which is kind of the first time we've done that. But I thought it was a good game overall. I love watching pass pitch. I thought he considered he hadn't thrown in almost a month or 3.5 weeks from Cal Berkeley. I thought he threw the ball really well. He got it up 95, 96, 97, and got us off to a good start. Schulke did a much better job his second outing when he got into that 3rd inning a little bit. I think he probably got a little tired and I left him in a little bit longer. But right now, you're experimenting. We've still got pitchers in the bullpen that I've never seen except throw a few pitches in the bullpen. So we'll continue to experiment a little bit. And we got a couple of injuries now, which is the first time that's occurred, and having to move guys around. And as I told the team yesterday, you're going to see a lot of roster changes here over the next 3 to 7 days. So you'll see. And that also is tough to keep continuity with that. But, we enjoyed playing. I think we're off to a good start.
You talk about continuity, a lot of roster shakeup. And so when that happens, you've been here 19 seasons, 20 years. What makes great continuity when you're having so much turnover with the roster?
Well, one, bringing in really good people, young men who are humble, who are not greedy about their playing time. They came to learn. They came to have player development. Like I texted a player today, and he'll be on the roster tomorrow. And he said, Coach, no problem. He said, I'm here to learn. So if you've got those kind of young men, it's fine. Where our heart breaks is for the players that are going out and they want to stay. But many of them are headed toward pro baseball, a lot toward the combine, some toward the USA. So summer baseball is a different it's just a different system now than it was maybe 5 or 10 years ago, and this is kind of the way that it plays out.
Chris Kaler on the mound today, another arm at a GW for you guys. That must just bring back some great memories of when Harrison Cohen was here with the Kettleers, and just how has it been for you to see his success in the Yankees organization?
Oh, it's fantastic. I use Harrison as an example all the time. He spent 2.5 summers here, 19 and 21 and 22, and polished his skills, and the Yankee scouts were in here the last couple of days, and they like him, said he's doing great. And I don't know nearly as much about Chris, but I know he has similar makeup. He has similar desire to polish his skills like Harrison did. Harrison has been a mentor to Chris, which is great. So I'm thrilled. I'm looking forward, no matter how he does, I'm looking forward to watch Chris pitch today. And then you'll probably see a couple other pitchers on the mound today that you have not seen.
Coach, on the offensive side, some struggles the last couple of games, but one thing you were talking about yesterday on the pregame show was torque. Mm-hmm. And I'm interested to know, how would you define torque, and how do you try and implement that with your hitters?
Well, you define torque to me is the best torque there is in an athlete is when an ice skater who really can rotate with their arms inside and they spin at a tremendous speed, and that's torque. No different than an automobile. And so what we worked on today in 2 or 3 hitting sessions was trying to, again, to ask the players to be a little more compact, even to not stride. We went through a couple drills where we don't stride, and again, use our backside so that we can spin in a tighter circumference, you would say, okay? And we don't want that circumference to get this wide, as wide as the mound, for example. We want to really bring it in tight. And so that's kind of how I kind of teach torque, and I love it. And we have a couple of particular swings that we have names for that we work on that in practice. And I think the guys have done a good job. For you to see it in the game, our strides need to be more compact. We need to be in the ground. Our swings need to be a little shorter right now. We're getting the ball thrown by us. Use the backside a little bit more, and let's see if some torque comes out today.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us with Coach Roberts ahead of Game 5. Now let's send it back to the starting 9.
That's going to do it here for the Kettleers starting 9. Now sending it back up onto the booth for first pitch at 5 p.m. From Lowell Park, I'm Lily Butler. This is Joe Pratt and Tyler Danburg.